everyone, it's Andres with the AO Solution. Wanted to share with you some really quick insight on a perspective that completely changed the way that I look at business and that completely helped accelerate the results that I was able to build in building my international business. And that was when I really learned about the subtlety and how subliminal influence really is. And when we put it into perspective, if we're really looking at some neutral influence, let's say you go and live in England or Australia or a country that speaks the same language as you but in a completely different way, right? If you went to Australia and you spent 3 years there, what would happen when you came back to your home country? Well, what would happen is that your accent would be completely different, your slang would be completely different, and even the change in times and the change in vocabulary that happens so drastically nowadays, when you go back to your country, you'd have a hard time even understanding what they're talking about because you've been in such a completely different environment for the past few years. And the reason this is important to understand is because we are not immune to being influenced negatively or positively. So you can either use this to your advantage or you could really use it to your disadvantage, and it can really set you back years, right? And the way that I really took this perspective and took control of it was that first, it really helped me understand that I have to eliminate toxic relationships. And see, the thing about toxic relationships a lot of times is that we may not be aware that they're toxic, but it really comes down to you coming to terms with what you're looking for in your life, and the people and the relationships that you have, are they supportive of your goals and your dreams? Second, it's making sure that that the things that I'm watching and that I'm listening to are also aligned with my vision and with my purpose, right? So that means turning off the radio in your car and putting in audio tapes from one of the great speakers and self-development orders that there are out there in the world, right? And also about the books that you read, the TV shows that you watch. For me, building my organization, I was very clear in letting them know that if you are a fan of Jersey Shore or Duck Dynasty or any of those honestly ridiculous reality TV shows that I understand people find entertaining, but at the same time, people don't understand how it influences to think like them. So many times we're laughing at them, but at the same time, we're not understanding how we're actually starting to duplicate that within ourselves, because our minds, our neurons, when we're staring at the television set, when we're staring at ridiculous YouTube videos, our mind isn't aware of the difference between reality and the fictional show or video that you're watching. So your mind's actually going to start to build neurons that are very similar to the language that you're watching and very similar to the actions that you're watching. And without knowing it, you're actually starting to duplicate that within yourself. So for me, that was so powerful and that was so interesting that really, to me, it was exciting. To me, it really helped me understand that, all right, so all I have to do is that anytime I'm driving, I make sure to put in, right now I'm listening to Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And the book that I'm reading is A Social Animal by David Brooke. And I'm constantly just listening to trainings and to webinars from successful marketers all the time. I'm going to events and I immerse myself completely. I want to enjoy all the events, every single day of them, from beginning to night. And I make sure to hang around the people with results, because I know that by hanging around them, all that's going to happen to me is that my neurological systems in my brain are going to start strengthening those neurons that are towards positivity, business, success, production. And the neurons that I'm not using, drama, the negative media, dumb TV and dumb videos that just aren't good for me, those are actually going to start to weaken. Those bad habits are actually going to start to weaken. The better vocabulary that I'm learning is going to start to strengthen. So really, truly, when you see that you have so much control of the results that you have, it really helps you see that you are responsible and accountable for the way that we interact, and that all really depends by how much you're allowing yourself to be influenced by the positive or negative forces that are out there. And truly, it's about making sure that you're not being brainwashed by those sources, right? A lot of people, a lot of you home-based business owners, you're gonna be told, oh, you're brainwashed. You're brainwashed for being in that company or for thinking that blogging is gonna take you to the next level. But they're brainwashed because all they ever see is destruction and negativity. So it's not really fully understanding that there's so much positivity out there. And really, when you get around that, when you get around the right people, when you get around the right information, you start to build hope for humanity and you start to build hope for yourself. So I really hope this video came in handy. Other than that, guys, take care. Share the video if you like it. Make sure you're being influenced by good energy. And other than that, peace, love, and sandy beaches, everyone.